Hey Transgender family, it's me, Amara Jones, from an undisclosed location, actually the same place that I always do it. It's from my apartment, but it sounded better and more, I don't know, on trend to say an undisclosed location, given that we are in these very serious times. Actually, today is the first day that I've actually put on makeup in over a week. I did that for y'all, but I can say that I have been showering every day and dressing every day, like real clothes. So I am good. Of course, I'm in New York, and I'm in quarantine, just like almost 100 million other Americans during this very serious time. But as time goes on, don't be surprised if you end up seeing me in my robe. Real talk. I just ordered a new one from Amazon.com. We are in very serious times. I want to thank everyone for joining us last week for our kind of town hall that I did on coronavirus and where we are. We've been posting resources on all of our social media outlets and on our website for you all to be able to access easily as they come on board. There are lots more that are TGNC specific, so please make sure that you go to those resources and use them as we are rolling those out. I'm also happy to say that despite some questions as to whether or not we would do it, we're continuing to launch our partnership with WNYC here in New York for a monthly series called Lives at Stake, where we are going to be unpacking issues that are really relevant and pertinent to TGNC communities across the country. We were going to launch The Future of Trans, which is a latest documentary that we have been working on and that you've seen us talk about and record. And we originally promoted that Lives at Stake would be on The Future of Trans, but due to the disruption of the world, that documentary is going to be delayed. And it also makes sense for us to focus on how trans and gender non-communities are responding to the coronavirus. And we have responded with speed and focus. We need to highlight those efforts, and we need to make sure that we give ourselves hope that we are saving ourselves. We're not necessarily waiting on anyone to help us. And so we're going to talk about all the ways that we are doing that. So make sure that you join us. Now, speaking of talking and relevant issues, our pages and sites have been full of comments from you all. Of course, we've been focusing a lot on the coronavirus and resources for the coronavirus. So in addition to that, though, there have been lots of other things that we have been speaking about. Not necessarily great news this week. The first, of course, is that a trans woman, Monica Diamond, was killed in Charlotte while in the back of an ambulance, likely by someone that she knows. This happened in the midst of last week and the crisis that's going on. And so our condolences go out to her. It just underscores that despite everything else that's going on, that trans and gender nonconforming people continue to face, especially Black women, continue to face elevated levels of violence. And we need to pay attention to that and make sure that we don't lose sight of the need to address those issues. It's something that I care very deeply about. It's also the case that the coronavirus, in terms of that, is actually having a big impact on the health of trans people, specifically surgeries that people need in terms of being life-affirming and having better life outcomes. There are many elective surgeries across the country are being canceled. That's having a dramatic impact on us. And also just being able to access our doctors beyond the corona crisis. That's another thing that people have been really focused on, and that was the most talked about thing across all of our platforms. Another thing that received a lot of attention, again, coronavirus related, is just guidance on how to be, if you are a parent with your transgender non-conforming child during this particular period, what the do's and don'ts are. There is a really cute meme and series on an Instagram page about that, which is also receiving a lot of attention. But more than anything, we are continuing to send you our best. We want you to stay safe and be well during these harrowing times, but we are in there with you. And here is a resource. So we hope that you will join us next Tuesday, March 31st at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our live virtual town hall of Lives at Stake. Guests will be announced at the same time that you see this video. So make sure that you dig into those and tell your communities that we're coming next week with how transgender nonconforming communities are responding to the crisis. And also make sure that you sign up for our newsletter. That way you can make sure that you not only see me once a week, but also continue to get our news during these times. Again, be safe, be well. We'll see you on Tuesday, March 31st.